£24,000. That cost me that hangover. 24 fucking grand. Years, but like, you know, when I used to see people and they'd be like, oh my God, a certain rapper is at this nightclub. I'm going to go there and I'm going to film the rapper rapping on my phone. And all these complete fucking zombies have got their phones out filming a rapper who's appeared for half an hour. If that is you, I'm giving you some valuable advice. Reevaluate your fucking life. Reevaluate your life, because that is not existence. That is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. And when I see it on people's stories, my finger starts itching to unfollow them because I lose all respect for them. Hi guys, welcome to the Real Estate All Stars podcast. So this is episode 5 today. I'm joined with my brother, Reese Ash. Reese, welcome. Took you a long time to get here, obviously.
Sorry I was late. Traffic was a nightmare.
So yeah, I think, look, let's kind of kick it off with really, for those that are potentially not familiar with yourself, obviously you're making some, you know, you're putting some huge deals together, aren't you, in luxury property. Yeah. So you've really obviously showing me up a little bit, actually. So yeah, just, I think, you know, so just talk, for those people that don't know you, you know, just talk through a little bit about your journey, maybe where you started before even getting into real estate, and then how you've led up to today.
Yeah, so obviously when I left school and that, and didn't really go into college or university, when trying to pursue a football career, in case some of you didn't know already.
Yeah, you have mentioned that a few times.
Mentioned it, in case you have missed it, international goal scorer for Pakistan.
Pakistan international goal scorer.
So get that on your CV.
Not many have got that. I think you're on Wikipedia.
Yeah. So, and then that didn't work out. I was just, you know, going down lower and lower down the levels, playing semi-pro, conference level. I think you were doing a bit at Leamington, weren't you, at the time? Yeah. Played in Spain for a year as well.
Glen Hoddle Academy.
Give it a good go, but like millions out there, you fall short, and then it's kind of like, what am I going to be doing now? And
isn't there like roughly a thousand places from the bottom of League Two to the top of the Premiership? Yeah. So there's 1,000 professional contracts basically to play for, and think about, there's probably millions of kids trying to make it.
And if you think about probably up until championship level, come the end of your career, because you do well to play at that level to past 32.
Yes.
Not everyone's a Ryan Giggs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're going to be looking for another career when your football career ends. And it might have been a blessing in disguise anyway, but got into plumbing. Yeah. Forced into it by our dad, I think. I think you were forced into it. Electrician.
Yeah, there were some horrible days. You stuck it out longer than I did. You started early as well. What age was it? 20? You started?
21.
21. Yeah.
Went and did my level 2 qualification at college. Fast track gas course. Yeah. So I was a gas engineer, qualified plumber, and I just set up my own company straight away. I've never actually had an interview in my whole life.
Nice.
So and then just went and, quite similar to this, I used to go and knock on letting agents' doors, right, and just undercut every plumber they were using.
There you go. We don't do that.
But I used to go and knock. I go, I'll do it cheaper, because I was just trying to get my foot in the door.
Yeah, you got business, didn't you?
And then long and short of it is, had a fairly successful plumbing company, had a couple of vans on the road, doing it for like 8 or 9 years. But I didn't enjoy it. I hate, it's like getting up and going on site, freezing.
You're early, aren't you, as well? It was like 5, 6 a.m. starts, wasn't it?
Get in the gym for that, and then on site for 7 in the morning. Yeah. And the problem is, when you're a gas engineer, you always have to leave when the heating's on. You're only there when it's broken.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't glamorous, it wasn't fun, I didn't have a passion for it.
No.
I didn't, to all my existing customers, I apologise, I didn't care if your boiler was working, if you wanted a new bathroom. I did have no passion for it. I'd go and do my job, clock in, clock out.
That's a problem for anyone in
I think
career.
A lot of people, life is like that.
Well, I remember like getting advice when I didn't want to be an electrician, and it was, you're not supposed to enjoy your work, you just got to do it. And I was like, okay, that's solid advice. That's a walk into the abyss. And that was what I thought work was. And then you realise, actually, when you kind of find something that you're actually passionate about, the one thing that happens is you always want to get better at it, because that's your passion. It's a little bit like when you're playing football. You always wanted to get better at football.
I would go out and train willingly. I wouldn't be like,
no one's paying you to do it, are they?
You go out, football under your arm. You live, breathe football your whole life. And with that, the career, I think really eye-opener for me. I mean, you'd always been on at me, hadn't you, about going, I should be doing real estate, I should be doing...
Well, I remember, like, you know, there was a lot of skepticism from your end towards me because it was, you know, I believed in this before even it was a thing in the UK, really. And it was only when I kind of started saying, look how much money I'm earning doing
I remember
this.
when you was around mine, and I think you were shopping for a Lamborghini, I think, or I can't remember what it was.
I was looking at them.
And I was doing mine, I was like, I've got to do a lot of fucking boilers to get a Lamborghini. I was doing the calculations, like, I think added up. It's not looking good, bro. Do you know what I mean? I was like, this is not. I was like, all right, there's some truth to it now, because it comes to a point where you think a lot of it is, and you know where we grew up in, where it was a small mind mentality. When someone starts doing something differently, you just think they're blowing hot air. You think it's hot. You think it's smoke. You think that nothing's legit, and then you start seeing the money landing in the bank. Okay, now I best listen now. What's going on?
Yes, yeah. I think I always remember saying to our mum when I started hitting, and Tyrone Ash Real Estate was starting to pick up some speed, and you know, you were sort of, I could see you were a bit on the fence, and I said to mum about a few months in, I said, mark my words, Reese will be working for this business. He'll be working with me, like, because I knew you could do it. And it was quite funny as well, was I remembered, like, people, certainly, like, even, you know, Dad and other people would say, look, you know, Reese isn't like you. He's not a salesperson. He's not like that.
I think people attach salesman to sleazy, big grin, really loud, and, you know, car salesman. Like, but that's what people attach as a salesman, and it's not. That's what's portrayed in the UK, you know,
like a hit and run, double glazing.
Yeah, you know, like a cheesy. That's
snake oil.
That's it.
Yeah. And I think that, like, what you realise with real estate is there's so many different components, because a lot of it is rapport building. You end up becoming people's trusted friend, trusted advisor before you start doing business with them. They trust your credibility, they trust your knowledge, they trust what you do in the industry, and then the business comes because they trust your process and they trust the results that you've produced.
I think what you always said to me all along, which rightly or wrongly, you always say I'm a lot more likable than you by the average person.
It's always been the way. Take a demographic of 20 people or 10 people. 7 of them will like Reese, 3 of them will like me. That's always the way.
You've always loved that anyway.
I've always liked that. Yeah. I've never been the popular one, but I've always been the one that aggravates or triggers people.
Yeah. It's always been the way. So, and even Dad, like he said, Dad was like, no, never going to do it. He's not a salesman. And even me,
because you weren't naturally a salesman. You weren't even that sociable, but you were likable. And I guess but you know what? That is half the battle with real estate. You've got to be likable. You do, you know, and then people will want to do business with you. And obviously that led you up to kind of now where we've got some big numbers going in. I think you earned close to sort of, 40, 50 grand last month, which was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think this week alone is going to be something around 89k of sales.
Which is, what's that equate to in gross numbers? It's about 10 million, 8 million in sales.
Yeah, in the last...
Like as in gross house figures in the last week?
Probably in the last 3 weeks, probably around 10 million.
10 million of sales.
11 million,
which is phenomenal. It's not bad, is it? Do you ever think you would be saying that when you were
head under
clearing out people's shitty toilets?
Yeah. Plundering that. No, I never did.
£10 million of deals coming right up after I clear this shit out the waste pipe.
Coming in. It's nuts. It's like I had a conversation with you earlier. Like, but I become, I don't know, I've become so obsessed with being the best at everything I do. And I think that's kind of what you probably saw in me, is that to play football at that level, you do have to have that
your obsession, I remember when you were a plumber, because you hated your job, your obsession was golf.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about, you started playing golf. How good did you get at golf?
I started playing, I played a bit, I think everyone plays in like 16, they go down the driving range. But I picked it up again. And in 3 years, I went from a 20 handicapper to like 4.5 handicap.
Jesus.
In 3 years. And
that's insane. Because you were, and I think that people were probably wondering what had happened to their boiler installs, and you were out on the golf course.
When there's water pissing out on the floor, and I'm there like putting in a new trophy I won at the local. And I won like 3 big cups in my local golf club. And I got so obsessed with trying to be the best, because you look at me, you don't think I can play golf. I don't like your conventional golf. I don't swing like, but I just become so obsessed with training, getting coaching, and
the process.
And I'm so process driven in everything I do, where it's kind of like, what do the best people do? Well, they don't just go and get pissed and play 18 holes, because you know golf, the more you play, the worse you get if you don't train.
Yes. And
I knew that, and I was like, I think you said that you play loads, you actually start shooting worse. And I was like, well, let me just train and get better. And that's kind of what I've done with real estate.
Well, it is exactly what you've done.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you've done. You've become what I can only describe as obsessed. I remember sort of, me kind of thinking, it's my brother, I better shadow him. And as you were like learning and doing your self-development and getting better, I mean, you didn't even want me coming on appointments with you. You were just like, I don't need you. I need to do this myself. And then you found your way. You started putting together a few deals, and now you've got some astronomical numbers being done. What do you think attributes to that sort of success? Okay, there's being obsessed with it, but describe some of the processes you've had to become obsessed with.
A big factor for me is obviously when recently came to London, I've always been a bit of a lad that likes to go out and have a good time.
Like, we have heard. Yeah.
And I've really knocked that on the head. I've been a lot better this year. And that's always probably been my, not downfall, but social. I'd always be out on a Saturday night doing whatever,
I think a lot of people like that. That's cool. I believe it's escapism. I believe that when I was
relates back to probably my situation with plumbing, and you just like live for the. When we talk about, we're in that zone of not going out, and I'm looking at people's stories, like they're literally living for this festival, and they're fucked off their face, and they're living for it, and they absolutely love it, and I'm like, okay, once in a while, but the same people just. You're spending all your money on going out on the weekend, or that one trip to Ibiza where you work 51 weeks for that 1 week of the year. It's just nuts.
That's not life. And actually what you're trying to do is escape a reality. And the reality is that, like, for me, I could go on holiday every month if I wanted to go on holiday. But if I don't hit my goals and I don't earn it, I have an almost, with business, it's almost like a hunter's mentality. I feel like I have to earn my food. I have to earn what I get to enjoy. So if I'm going on holiday, I better be damn sure that when I turn up to the airport, I need that holiday. I'm done. Like, get me out of here for 5-6 days. I need to relax. I need to unwind. And even when I went to Mykonos, recently with Chloe, like for 7 days, and by day 5, I was done. I needed to get back into the mix.
I think a big thing is that you certainly got it. Is when I knew I was doing this, and this is the road I was going on, is that I just left my friendship groups on WhatsApp for no reason. And I was just like, I can't deal with these people anymore because they're not in the same mindset as me. Because I was like, they're just holding me back. They didn't do anything wrong. I don't have anything against them. Just their mindset wasn't the same as me, where I was like, where I want to go. And I found myself being quite isolated with regards to friendship. And that you always hear like it's a lonely road to becoming like a millionaire, to becoming, and you do relate to it at certain stages, because it's kind of like your friendship group disappears. This year I think this is probably the biggest thing for me, is I haven't had a girl whining at me or trying to entertain expensive dinners in Mayfair, going out on a Saturday night. These little things that when you're trying to get to the top, it's not going to help you.
No, I think that's it. I think that certainly finding partners, things like that. Unless you've got someone who is 110% supportive of your career, supports you in every way, and you can do the same back to them, which is a rarity nowadays. Because
it is. I mean, the team that I speak to, and it's kind of like, it's so much harder when you've got external factors. This job is fucking hard as it is.
Yeah.
Do I really need to be doing this for them, doing that for them, when I'm not where I want to be myself?
Yes.
So if I settle down now with someone, and I see myself being somewhere else in a year, and they're still who I was, they fell in love with someone who I am now, it's not fair on them, because I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
You don't know where you're going to be.
So I've made the decision to go, look, unless something spectacular comes along that really suits me, I'm not going to go out looking for it every Saturday night.
No.
And that's kind of a big factor for me as well.
I also think that, like, when you talk about like these things, these probably fall into some of the things we spoke about on previous podcasts with like sacrifices, that kind of thing. I think that as well, one big factor that comes into it for me is that people need significance and they need validation.
Well, that's what it all boils. And that's what it all comes down to that. Because that Monday to Friday, you don't get it.
No.
You don't get it by sticking your head under a boiler and having shit all over your hands.
Tapping away in an office for 25 grand a year.
You got that report for me.
When your boss tells you when to have your lunch break. There's no fulfillment in that. So what happens is yes, it's 5 o'clock on a Friday to the pub.
Well, you drive down London when the sun's out on a Friday, the pub is brimming to the pavement.
It's on the road, yeah.
There's people standing on the road drinking a pint because
it's so itching to just get in there. Have it. Now, I'm not sitting here saying don't have a social life. Yeah. We do. We pick our days. We have drinks. We go out. Yeah, if anything, I've been drinking this morning. but you know, that's not where you get your enjoyment. And I think that, like, for me, you know, people look for validation now in the craziest of ways, because the reality is that most people won't get it from their career. Most people won't get it from their job. Definitely won't get it from their job. And, like, you know, with that, they look for it through platforms like social media.
Because it's set up in a way that's like, you see your likes go up. It taps into your brain. It does something to
like
you.
Dopamine.
It's like dopamine release.
It's
it's like
hits.
bam, bam, bam. And then like that significant factor comes in. And it's the easiest way, the free way.
Well, the funny thing is we have a balance, because one of our biggest marketing tools, if not the biggest, is social media.
Yeah.
So it's not just about putting videos out and we get a few views or whatever. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of views and interactions.
Two of the last sales I've had, one of the buy actually came through Instagram, and the other one, the guy who was bidding against the other guy was from Instagram.
There you go. Yeah.
Like, and they're both over 2 to 1. Late one's £2.5 million house.
Yeah. So that shows the value of social media in real estate.
Yeah.
However, that directly relates to what we need to do as a business and how we market properties. But for, you know, Joe Public, social media is instant gratification, instant validation. It's dopamine hits. It's about, I'm not getting validation from, you know, my career, from maybe the amount of money I'm earning or whatever I'm doing in my life. So what I need to do is I need to get loads of likes on TikTok for a funny video, or loads of likes on Instagram for dressing a certain way, or, you know, whatever. And it's actually what it becomes is
then the why, what you're getting from it.
Exactly. And for me, it's cool, what I categorize as cheap attention.
Okay.
You know, I'd rather have 5,000 views or 10,000 views, but there's a message about, you know, credibility, expertise, you know, knowing your industry, rather than me just, you know, pouring a pint over someone's head and laughing at it, and then like going, I get a million views.
What we do at the company is, the ones that are, you know, doing really well with their social media, is that it's important that people see me for me. So you'll see me in the gym, you'll see me playing golf, you might see me in a nice restaurant now and then there's a lot of work related stuff. So everything I'm doing on social media, it's nice when you go, oh, bloody hell, hit the explore page and get loads of... Don't get me wrong, everyone has that release and that excitement. But I don't deter from the fact of why I'm doing it. Is because they see who I am as a person. Oh, he's actually selling a house here. My mate's been looking for a house here. And you're pulling buyers from these situations. They actually see I'm doing it for... There's a reason I'm doing it, basically.
How important do you think personal brand is in real estate?
That is massive. And I think a lot of people don't understand the difference of actually kind of, like, some agents I'm not going to name names, it'll just be like house on their social media page. It's like, it looks like an estate agent's window. Like,
a rubbish one.
Real shit one.
But
then it's like, kind of like, what's the point? Where do they see who you are? You might be into your football, you might be into your golf, you might be into your fitness.
Dress well, you might be into your suits, you might drive supercars, you might do all these different things.
They'll find, because what I've said to you is that business is, I think 80% relationship, rapport. That 20%, you've got to know what's what. You need to deliver facts, tell them what's what. You're the expert. This is how it's done. Trust me on this. And then
I know people, I know estate agents and some real estate agents who have big followings on social media. They get like hundreds of thousands of views on a property tour, but I know, no disrespect to them, but I know they're not experts at selling property. So what they do is they get all this attention, but because they haven't actually sharpened their tools sharp enough to be an absolute shark in real estate, they don't really monetize it. And then you get somebody on the other end of the spectrum who is, and believe me, I know we slate estate agents, but I know there are some bloody good estate agents out there who understand the job. They've been in it for years and years and years, and they're exceptional at the job. And in their circles, they are seen probably in their company as gods. But step into social media and they're non-existent. They've got like 200 followers, 300 followers. They get like 10 likes on their photo, that sort of stuff.
So when you combine the two,
if you find that middle ground, that's the eureka moment
It's the future.
for real estate, and it's the future.
It's the future. People will be like, I've been watching your Instagram for the past year. I followed you on LinkedIn for the past year. Do you want to sell my house? You're constantly getting watched about what you're doing. And I remember someone, I went to a meeting, it was quite a while ago, and they're like, so what's the deal with all the Lamborghinis on Tyron's Instagram? And I was like, what's that got to do with your house?
What's the deal with?
I was like, where's the training video on that?
Yeah.
And I said, no, we're portraying a lifestyle. You know, we're trying to attract entrepreneurs here. We're not just house. And I explained that to them. I said, it would be boring. I was like, would you even follow me?
It is boring.
How many nice kitchens can you see? How many nice and don't get me wrong, they're nice, but people want to be interested. It's about who they're watching, who
I've seen a kitchen for 50 grand and I've seen a kitchen for £1 million, and I can tell you now, I couldn't for the life of me give you the fundamental differences. I think that they look amazing, both of them, and in different ways, and probably the artwork in there and the detail on the units and the work surface was slightly better and the island was positioned in a different way and it was cut from a different stone. I get all of that, but you can put them both on a video and they're both going to look very, very fucking similar. Unless there is a serious connector between those amazing houses and those amazing features and the audience, which is the skilled luxury real estate agent, then the thing falls flat on its face. I've seen unbelievable houses and they've had like 2,000 views on the video. Yeah. If that vendor has paid £1,000 for marketing or £2,000 for marketing and it's only got a few hundred views. I mean, we saw one the other day.
I was in them and they was like, yeah, we do. And I literally went on my Instagram and I typed in and I showed them their property tour. I said, it's not a bad video. I said, you've had 47 views in 3 days. And I was like,
it's hardly worth it. And that's probably the people in the office. Like, you know, and then their friends and family.
There's 48 of them who work there.
Yeah, it's 48 in the office. Like, it's crazy.
And then it goes back to the other end of the spectrum where it's kind of going, well, you've got all these people that are bloody good on social media and they put good content, they look sharp, funny content, you can really see how they are as a person. And then they're probably the best they're getting is a few free outfits and a free entry to a festival every now and then. Like, how can these, you know, you got to look at them and say, what are you doing to like say so what? Social media is a completely double-edged sword. So on the one hand, if you are clever, entrepreneurial, you understand it and you understand how to market your personal brand, you can make millions, like millions, in a number of different ways. However, if you don't understand that, and you know you're working a normal job, you've not got the kind of entrepreneurial direction, but you still need the validation from social media, that's where I believe it becomes dangerous. Because then what you've got is, for me, you know, there's girls who just advertise themselves in absolutely next to nothing to get likes, and you know, okay, some of them are monetizing it. You've got like OnlyFans that's come from it and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's not my place to comment on it, but it is what it is. That's fine if that's what people want to do. There's a shelf life on that.
But there is a shelf life on it. Well, you can do that for your whole life. And second of all, I think that, you know, they go, oh, you know, I've made it, like you said, I've made the explore page. I've got all these likes. I've got certain people in my...
Pin it to the top of your profile so everyone can see how many likes you've got here. And it's like, going back to what we're doing really well is that we're constantly training and adapting with the new algorithms on certain platforms so that we're doing everything we can to build that social media presence, to have that rapport with our audience, as well as being bloody good at what we do. Yeah,
but exactly my point is that, like, that's personal brand. What I'm not a fan of is cheap attention. I think cheap attention is valueless. I think that, you know, you might get people in your DMs, you might get the odd free product.
That's it.
And that's it.
Before, influencers were getting loads for it.
Millions.
And that's gone now. You see, you know,
crowded market. It's a crowded market. And I think that for me, when you've got people who are kind of, you know, I've used words like selling your soul, but I believe that if you're just flaunting yourself and, you know, scrapping around for likes and trying to get attention's fine if you've got a direction for that attention. Yeah. But if you're just literally looking for attention, for validation for yourself, I can give you some very, very good advice to anyone who's listening to this. You're not going to get happiness from it. You're not going to get fulfillment from it because it's not got an end to it. It's not got an end goal. You know, I'm a firm believer, and, you know, it might be an unpopular opinion, but we talked about people who live for the weekend. I've seen people, you know, I went to nightclubs and all that stuff around Mayfair for years, but, like, you know, when I used to see people and they'd be like, oh my God, a certain rapper is at this nightclub. I'm going to go there and I'm going to film the rapper rapping on my phone. And all these complete fucking zombies have got their phones out filming a rapper who's appeared for half an hour. If that is you, I'm giving you some valuable advice. Reevaluate your fucking life. Reevaluate your life, because that is not existence. That is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. And when I see it on people's stories, my finger starts itching to unfollow them because I lose all respect for them. If that is your highlight of your week, that a rapper has put a couple of hours out his day to appear at your local nightclub and you're losing your shit with your phone filming them, you need to fucking have a good long look in the mirror. A good long look in the mirror.
It's got to be up there with the most cringiest thing is that...
I remember actually, even when I was going out, I'd get promoters
message me and go, this guy's here, still getting out. What do you want me to do? I don't care.
So-and-so's appearing at this club. I go, well, that's a good reason for me not to go. Thank you, I'm not going to go there tonight because I don't turn up to somewhere because someone's appearing there. That is embarrassing. And like, the thing is, it's all about but that falls into, where is your own self-worth at? Where is your own value? You know, for me, you should live your life like you are the star.
It's hard to come out of that because of the social media. They've done it in a way like you get sucked into it so quick.
It manipulates people's thoughts.
But also, those that are very good at portraying themselves don't realise how easy that step is to, you know, we use real estate because I know it very well now, is that people that can build rapport very early, they're likeable, they're social media, they look smart, they look the part. They have the ability to really do well in an industry like this because that's half the battle. You can have someone that's super knowledgeable, boring as fuck, all the information coming out of their mouth is gold, but the owner's like...
There's no energy, there's no energy. There's no connection.
So if you've got the energy, the whole presence, then you can train, you know, you can self-develop. I mean, I don't want to go into it. I listen to audiobooks 5-6 hours a day, I'm always obsessed with it. Like, always developing, always doing it. Don't listen to any music. Like, so I don't know any new music out now.
No.
If you were to say, to put a playlist on, we've got...
there's a certain rapper appearing at a nightclub.
I might get my phone out for that and then play it later.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I don't listen to music now.
Absolute mongs. Sorry.
And it's like you don't realise that skill can be fucking used so well, not just in real estate or whatever, but if you've got an end goal, like use it, you know, be smart about it.
Yeah. But like, again, you know, it's that I believe that the wrong things get drilled into us. So what happens is, because for example, I went to like a Tony Robbins event where there's 10,000 people in a room hanging onto the guy's every word. Well, that was for me time and money well spent, because that guy is probably a billionaire or whatever he is. And the gold that I took, that I then implemented into my own life, genuinely, categorically improved my life for the better in a multitude of ways. Now, you're not going to get that from following a Kardashian or following a rapper, or, you know, they're literally rapping about drugs and drinking and bitches and all that stuff. And it's like, there's nothing...
Or just being involved in that circle, like say going away and getting in free everywhere where you are in Ibiza, or, you know, going for the summer and it's like, summer's over, oh, let's go and do it at a ski resort. And then you're 4 or 5 years and you get to your late 20s, early 30s and you've got...
Oh, I think it's hilarious when you see people, right, and they go and work in somewhere like, you know, Ibiza or Mykonos or something like that, and it's like...
They're at all the nice places.
No disrespect to you. You work there, and the people who travel there for a week are the ones spending the money. They're the stars. You work there. So, you know, you're posting content as if you own the island, as if it's yours. It's not yours. Like, you just work there, and... You know, if that's your purpose in life, is to just greet people as they're passing through while they enjoy their time away from their amazing lifestyles, don't you want more for yourself? That's all I say.
Look in the mirror and no one's looking at it that way.
No.
They're looking at it as kind of, I'm here at this place, I'm here at this place, let's get a cool photo here, cool, your Instagram looks fabulous, you got 1,000 likes doing it or whatever, it's great, but why? What are you getting out of it long term?
When you see it 3 months long or 4 months long, you know, it's not...
You scroll past it.
You do. It's like,
You watch another funny
how long's
football.
a holiday? How long's
you
a
watch
holiday?
another funny football meme instead of.
How long's a holiday last? It's just but some people again, it's down to like escapism. It's down to the fact that if people want to go forward in life, you've got to hold high standards. Like for me, I know a lot of what I say can be unpopular with people, but I don't really care because I know the decision.
It will hit home to a few.
Yeah, and the decisions I've had to make, the decisions you've had to make, they are decisions that they're not even popular with yourself at the time.
I remember when I did it, and I've always had a comfortable life. I've got a couple of houses I rent out. I had a van, I had a car, I had a van and a car. I was comfortable. Went into this 6 to 9 months, skint. Could barely. I'll get in a coffee at the checkout, going, "Is this card going to go through?" And that is going back like not even that long ago. I was like, oh, for God's sake, and then like, do you want to order a Nando's, Reese? And I'm like sweating, like haven't even, because you get in that mindset, and you have to go through that. Whereas, I went to Mykonos by myself this year. I flew myself to Mykonos because I was so overworked. I was like, I need a break, and I was like, okay, now I've come a long way. I couldn't imagine that 6 months ago. Like
it was earned. It was earned. You earned that break. You earned your holiday. And for me, I guess people just need to really understand that, like, life is not going to give you these breaks that you think are just going to come out of nowhere.
You can see how people get into like, really bad ways by relying on the gratification from social media.
I think
there's no real benefit, and you keep doing it, and then you stop getting likes. Your likes go down, your followers go down. Suddenly you're like, what's my purpose?
I think programs like Love Island are terrible for that. I have to say it, because as much as they have a great audience, what they are promoting is really no talent. You're not promoting entrepreneurship. You're not promoting success. You're saying that, if you look half decent,
come and watch them for a little while.
If you look half decent, this is what you could have, and you could get on this show and, get into a few arguments about who's dating who, and then you're going to be flavour of the month for a year.
A few guest appearances around England. So-and-so's appearing.
The new series comes out and you're yesterday's...
You're like, do you want me to appear at this club? And they're like, sorry, mate, not interested.
Yeah, they're not. Some of them can't even get in clubs now. I saw a video with a few of the ones that are getting turned away at fucking tape. Like, you are literally today's fish and chip paper, as they say. You're yesterday's news, and you don't have a talent. You don't have anything to offer. Now, I know some people who have been on the show. They've used the publicity to then build a career.
Platform to go on.
I think Wes Nelson's built a massive music career. I've seen like different guys who I'm connected with who have built businesses. I've seen
Chris, who's on ITV doing the racing, because he's gone into something that he liked.
Yes.
And he's used it as a platform. Because if you're funny, you're entertaining, you look all right, it will buy you a minute in any industry.
A minute. Yeah.
A sharp suit will get you through the door. You start talking shit, these wealthy people are going to sniff you a mile off, and they'll be like kicking you out.
Exactly.
So it will get you so far. But what people aren't realising is, fucking do the hard work behind that, so that you've got the ammo to get you through to where you want to get to, whatever it is.
I think as well, you've got to think that like attention's everywhere. You could get someone get millions of likes on a post, millions of views on a video, and that can get you, like you said, the 5 minutes of fame. And it's what you do with that attention that will materialize into what your next move is. And for us, obviously, we've got real estate to channel that into, but for a lot of people, they don't. And social media is something that needs to be understood very, very clearly.
I think I don't really go on TikTok that much to watch. I just kind of, I'll upload some bits on it. But I still obsessed with like Tate, who's on there all the time. Yeah. It's like, I'm obsessed with his views. I think he's just so cool. He's exactly what, but he's doing it for a reason. He's monetizing it.
Yeah, of course
he's got a Bugatti. He's got all this. He's cool, but he's still doing it for a reason. It's a business strategy. Yeah, Gary V's everywhere. He's got multi-million-pound businesses everywhere you look. Yeah. All the people that are doing it well are doing it for a reason, but they're doing it. They're just blending in with all the other ones that are doing it for.
They're making it out like it's just attention. Correct. But then as soon as you actually do one click further, you're into a course. You're into Hustlers University. Correct. You're into something else. And suddenly it's like, oh, actually, if I want to get to the next stage of business, I've got to sign up for what they want. I've got to pay money.
exactly
I've got to do
right.
that. And that's how the world works. And of course,
that's how social media works. If you do it correctly in a way that's you're going to benefit.
I mean, for us, it's listings, it's sales. You know, we're not after signing up a course. What we're after is, you know, give us your houses to sell because we're the best at selling.
People will message you. They'll send you the link to their I don't know, their cousin's house, going, oh, so and so have struggled to sell it. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And that's what's happening now. Is they're kind of. But if it's just house, I've only got about 4,000 or 5,000 followers myself. But when I started, I had like 900. Do you know what I mean? I've just been churning out stuff.
And it's organic. You get huge reach.
Yeah. I mean, the first video I did, like I tried to come across so disingenuous. I was trying to use words in how to pronounce. And I remember my mates like, you don't fucking talk like that. And I was like, and you get a bit like, oh shit, like.
Yeah, you get.
And then it's like, you know what? I'll go and do it whatever now. It's like one take because I don't care. No one actually cares about a polished video.
No, I think you've got to be authentic. I think authentic's an extremely important quality you've got to have with social media and your personal brand. You've got to talk and engage to your audience about your knowledge, your credibility, whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing. And I think you've got to be likable, and likability, it flows very close to the authenticity. You've got to be authentic, and that's going to make you likable. If you're putting on an act, if you're trying to, you know, people please, if you're just trying to get cheap attention, yes, you might get that attention for a couple of minutes, but people will get bored of you very quickly. You know, look at people like Joe Rogan and their podcast. There's a reason he's got millions. It's because the guy's so genuine. He literally he just literally sticks his t-shirt on, slumps into his seat and just starts talking.
When he starts talking, he pops on your screen, you listen.
I love it.
He could be talking. I mean, I watch enough on ancient Egypt and
I know
all these things.
I know about aliens now.
Yeah. And you watch it, the music going on in the background. You're in a little trance. It's like his voice, the music is kind of like. Yeah.
And I think that Tate does that really well. And I think it's that, you know, but what I like about him is he says a lot of what we've all been thinking. And I think people in today's society are so afraid of offending people. I've never been that person.
It's like when you respond to someone, you're just saying how you feel. You're not trolling. You're saying how you feel, what you feel, and everyone's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be saying that," or "Why are you being so harsh?" And no, I'm just being real.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people, you know, they get quite offended by certain things, but I believe people get offended when it touches a nerve. I think that, you know, if you said something to me that doesn't apply to me, it's not going to trigger me.
Yeah.
So if it applies to me, like if I say, you know, you're ambitious because you're only working a 9-to-5 job and you're not actually giving the best of what you can in life. Well, if you know you're giving the best you can in life, then that comment will go past your head.
Yeah, you won't even.
But if that triggers a nerve, if
you'll know deep
down touches a nerve somewhere, you're going to get aggravated and you're going to comment.
You're pretty good at aggravating people.
I love it. It's a hobby.
You wake up and you're like, right, I want blood today.
Yeah, I do actually wake up sometimes and I think, right, I've chose violence this morning.
Yeah.
This is what I've chosen.
I've been quiet for long enough.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
This one guy's message or video, and you're like, right.
I'm like a dog with a bone sometimes. I will answer the most random people back and I'll have a 30 comment argument with them.
Yeah, there's like a chain of 20.
And then at the end of it, I'll go, right, I'm bored now. Have a good day. And they're still going. I'm like, no, I'm done. I've got it out of my system. But I think it's quite hilarious because I don't get offended. People.
You play up. I remember when it was kind of before, and it's kind of like you actually get a buzz off people talking about. You would put receipts up of bills just
to piss people off.
Yeah. You don't care. People are like, why are you doing that? I know. You're doing it for that exact reason. The reason that you're saying.
So you
why.
get annoyed. Yeah. When we did what was it, $8,000 or $10,000 bill in? I think I did 20. I did 28,000 with a friend of mine.
Oh, in Rain, I think it was.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, I was talking about it like it was funny, but I was like, what a
twat.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm speaking for a lot of people here, but everyone was thinking, what a twat.
Even I thought, what a twat. Yeah. And it was like...
that's probably one of the last nights you went out.
That was one of the times I thought, this is getting too far. Like, it's becoming stupid now. And what am I doing this for, you know?
And like you say, when we was going out, and it's like, the same washed up girls end up on the same... the same promoter's table, and then you look at it and like, this is what I was stuck in. Oh fucking hell, there's 20 girls there, and then you look at the story. You pause the story when you're sober, they're all like nothing to get excited about, and I'm like, why am I so caught up in this?
No, but it's the kind of that culture of like
the FOMO. You're like, oh my God, I'm missing out so much.
And the reality is they're just dragging anyone they can in there to try and make it look really, really busy. They bring, nightclubs are built like that, aren't they? I think Tate even says it. He's literally, it's find guys who are willing to spend money, fill the club with girls, and then the girls go around the tables and make the guys spend money, and then everyone goes home.
Well, I never experienced that. And when I come to London, it's like, you can't even get in if there's too many guys. They won't even let you in.
Well, there's nowhere for you to stand. You've got to, you've got to buy a table, otherwise you're standing next to the toilets, and they won't let you stand there. You've got to spend £2,000 or £1,000 on a table, and the girls get in free. This
is what I mean. Whereas when you grow up in Milton Keynes and everyone's on a level playing field, you come here, it's a different world. Like, I didn't understand it.
Oh yeah, do you remember like when we went to go to a couple of bars and then the doorman stepped in front of me and went, "Oh, you got to book online. You can't come in." I said, "I'll pay for a table." They went, "No." And
it's Las Iguanas or something.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to have a stupid cocktail in your shit Mexican little restaurant. I don't care. Like,
but it's a different world. Like even when you go to like places like Mykonos, it's the same thing. It's just how it is. It's the structure, isn't it? They do. Guys spend money. Like Tate says, like you got to guy on a yacht's work 40 years to get on that yacht. And then the 19-year-old Ukrainian girl just put on some makeup and been invited on Instagram.
On the same yacht. Yeah. That's the way the world is. And I think that's why he's triggered so many people.
Because it is so true. When you go to these places, you're sat there going, and you're looking at these yachts.
I think if you think now, right, if you think about what is, what you have to do, certainly from our perspective as men, it's like I feel a massive responsibility in being successful, in keeping myself in the best shape possible, in earning a lot of money, buying nice clothes, going to nice places. Like there's a lot of pressure. Pressure I enjoy, I revel in it, but like it's
society
that's
pressure.
Society. And then actually, but there is also a lot of pressure in women to be good looking, to be Instagrammable, all that sort of stuff. But of course, what you've got now is every guy's chasing to be rich and every girl wants to be the next supermodel, and that's just the way it is. But I think that like the main thing that I've always took from the whole process and how society's kind of unfolding like this is you can't fight it. That's the one thing I've learned is there's no point saying I don't like social media. That's the first thing, because I've heard that of people and I've gone, listen, no one gives a shit if you like it or not. Do it, because you haven't got a choice. You haven't got a choice. You either do it or you become ostracised from society and business.
Exactly. Like, what's your Instagram? I don't have Instagram. Straight away, alarm bells ring when someone.
What are you, a rapist, a murderer? Why have you not got Instagram?
What's wrong? You do.
Yeah, you weirdo. Yeah. Like, where's your Instagram? Like, and this is a brilliant thing that I learned. And someone said this to me a few years back. Said you could meet someone, right? You could meet someone in a nightclub, and you might think, oh, they're nice, and then you speak to them. And then what could happen is you could, even though you've met them and you've got on with them, you could then go on their Instagram, have a window into their life, and then just get the biggest ick and be put off them through their Instagram. So in actual fact, Instagram gives you a bigger window into someone's life than actually meeting them in person. Yeah. How mad is that? Like, you get more from a social media platform than you do from real life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like if all his pictures are in a stringer vest in the mirror taking selfies.
You go, oh my God, he's too self-obsessed. I don't like him, even though you got on with him, or whatever. Or suddenly you've got, oh, hold on, this girl's on private yachts every single month in every different country.
She's got a link tree at the top of her bio.
Exactly. There's all sorts of these things. You go, hold on, I got on with her. Maybe she's not for me.
Yeah, you do.
It's just the way it is. It's it gives you a bigger window into real life.
But then it goes back to the clout chasing of the likes, the followers, the that's why you're doing it. So you get the most out of it. And the problem is that for whatever reason, the algorithms like all that stuff. They seem to boost it up.
They're programmed for people who are willing to sell their soul for likes.
It's nuts.
They're programmed from it.
We talked about the other day. We were talking about like golf. I can't remember what we were talking about. And then your TikTok next video was the golf video.
I don't even follow any golf things.
It's nuts, like the levels of technology being used on these things to tap into A, what you're talking about, and B, what they think. If every guy is looking at girls in underwear and every single male...
From experience?
No, this is just a rumour I've heard. But then if everyone's doing it, guess what's getting pushed up on their algorithms? Guess what's going to get seen first?
It's true.
So then what are they got to do? Well, that's what getting us the most traction.
And and I challenge anyone to test this. Think about any conversations you've had with someone, right? And then like we just use the examples of golf. This is how intelligent social media is. Exactly like what you said. You talk about golf, you go onto TikTok, there will be golfing videos that start coming up. And that is the most amazing thing.
Going back,
picking up.
You're talking about Love Island the night before.
Yeah.
And all you're getting is Love Island on your feed.
Yeah.
That's what you're aspiring to be is, I'll apply next year, I might get lucky, and I might be that one out of thousands applying that can maybe use as a platform to then get me a proper career. The rest...
And also I think that, I said it in a previous podcast and certainly in some videos that I put out recently, people need to aspire to business and entrepreneurship more, because I think if your career aspirations in life is to get on Love Island or to do something of that nature, you're going to be in for a rocky ride, even if you get on it, because, we've seen the suicides that have happened. We've seen the horrific stories that come off the back of it.
You're launched into.
And also you get this like pile of money. Some of the piles of money are bigger than the others. And if you don't do something with that pile of money, you end up back at zero. And you've got a load of attention where everyone knows who you are. You're expected to go to places that are £1,000 a table, £300, £400 a dinner, because that's where everyone hangs out. Who's cool. But if you haven't got the funds or the facilities to back that and to spend that, then you're in for a problem, because suddenly you've got a lifestyle that you can't maintain. And that's
the pressure's even harder.
And the pressure to maintain it is high.
Like, you come in here, then you go halves on the table with us.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You're on Love Island. You can come. Yeah. And
that's what I love about this. And it's not a plug for this. Is that this gives you the ability to be you.
Yes.
Like, to be you, to be credible and to express yourself, but also earn some bloody good money in the process when you get past, like, the stage of learning. Even when you're learning, like, the setup, it's honestly like the best career, I think.
Oh, I love it. I genuinely love it. People might think that I just put it on, I'm trying to make a bit of a name, or we're trying to make a bit of a name as a business and all this. No, the reason we're making a name is because we absolutely love it. Like, we live and breathe it. Like, nothing else gets spoken about apart from how to get better at real estate, how to get more deals done, how to get more listings, how to get owners the best price. That's all we talk about.
I went out one time about, I think 3 weeks ago, and I was talking to someone. They were asking, and then this other guy was like, "Is that all you do, talk about business?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you don't like it, fucking stand over there then."
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's literally what I said.
Yeah.
Go and get a shot for yourself, mate. I'm talking about work.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not, you don't do it in a way you kind of show off, it's just how you are.
What you love. People talk about their passions. People talk about their passions, and of course, again, we go back to some of the earlier points. If your passion is that you follow some rapper and you just
you're going to get the back of his head for fucking 10 minutes.
And you just keep talking about the new song that's come out and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like,
that's not an existence. That's not an existence. It's just a waste of time.
Have you heard that new mixtape? Like, what?
Yeah. Oh my God, this DJ is brilliant. Let me explain something very, very clearly.
This DJ's playing at this place.
Every single house DJ sounds exactly the fucking same. I don't care. And if you think you know the difference, you are talking absolute bollocks. Like, the reality is that some have marketed themselves better than others.
Yeah.
And that's it. So you know them more, you're a fan of what they're doing, you like their events that you go to.
Yeah, it's fun.
But there is absolutely no difference in the way they mix the music or anything like that. That is not fucking rocket science.
And come on, let's be real. When you're in that festival state, you won't remember what shit is going on. You lose your phone. You don't know what's going on. You don't even know what planet you're on. And you've gone, we're going here on this date to see this guy.
Because this person's playing at this time.
And you've been stood in the corner, bobbing up and down like a zombie. You don't even know what day of the week it is.
No, wet yourself probably. Yeah.
Don't bring me into this. But no, it's so true.
Yeah, it's true. And it's like, hilarious. And all I'm saying is, again,
have fun. Yeah, do it. Have fun.
Wrong. We're not saying don't do it. It's just like, that can't be your purpose in life. Don't live for it. That can't be your purpose in life. If you want to go with your friends and do it, enjoy it, come away and get back to your better life.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and go, oh my God, the next thing I've got to look forward to is the next festival that so-and-so appears at, or the next nightclub that so-and-so appears at. That means that you're living your life on someone else's accomplishments.
It goes on to another point though, is that when you do that every weekend, every 2 weeks, every month, and let's say it's a festival, a big night out, whatever it is, when I come back from Mykonos, it took me about a week to 10 days to get my frequency back in check. And what I mean by that is my frequency is like to get humming again, to get into work mode again. Now, if you're doing that every week, getting on it, drinking, whatever it is on the weekend.
At least I've done it.
Getting your frequency back in check is fucking impossible. I'm saying to you now, when you're sit there hanging on a Sunday, I never get a message going, by the way, I want to offer 2 million on this 1.5. You don't get offers when you're hanging out your arse. You know what happens? Deals fall out of bed. You lose a listing. Shit happens to you. You had an argument with your missus or boyfriend.
You do.
Bad shit happens. So how are you supposed to get out of that routine if you're not keeping your frequency in check? And we listen to a podcast that Matt Steinway talks about frequency. If you're drinking regularly, you cannot get out of that game we're talking about of like social media nights out. You can't get out of it.
No, it's a black hole.
You can't get out of it. So keeping your frequency in check, getting up, going to the gym early. Like I did it the other day with you. I was like, Ty, I'm leaving at 6:30, and you come out at 6:30. You just wait for me. I was like, no, I'm going.
Yeah. Because I thought it was over the top.
We just made up this morning. But no, I said, when I've made up my decision to stick to something, I'm doing it. And when I'm going to bed at 9 every night and getting up at 6 or 5:30, is that it's because of the end goal. Because when you have a shit come to you, you can deal with it. When you're hanging out your ass.
Well, do you remember, like, I remember, like, when I first got my car, and I was like, but what happened? I was so, I love that car, and like, I'm not ashamed.
You should
to
mention
say
it more, to be fair.
I think I don't mention it enough. but like, I'm there, right, 2 months in, proud as punch, I've got my dream car, and then I'm hanging out my ass. I've been out 2 nights running, and then I think, right, I need to go get my hair cut, 'cause I'm getting overgrown, and all this sort of stuff. So there's me. I'm in the underground car
ready
park.
for your 3rd night out in a row as well.
That was it.
It's ready for the Sunday, wasn't it?
That's what it was. So I reverse out my car parking space. I'm looking right over my shoulder.
Swung it round.
Other way. Yeah, left over my shoulder. And I've just pulled out. There is a huge concrete...
Must be like that wide.
I mean, it's literally wider than me. It's this big. It's one of those big ones that's holding the building up. One of them ones, right?
Holding Battersea Power Station up.
Holding Battersea Power Station up. And I've reversed and I've took my wing mirror off the car. So suddenly...
you're hanging. And I'm hanging. And then you get that hot flush.
Which affected some of the paintwork, which affected some of the PPF.
And it smashed the
glass. Which affected the little tiny glass pane, right? And all of that was connected. And... it cost me that hangover. After I dropped it into Lamborghini, they just fixed new wing mirrors. Obviously, they didn't have the black ones in stock. They only had the carbon ones, which obviously cost more. So suddenly, carbon wing mirrors, fixing the little bits of the screws, a little bit of the paintwork, the new window, £24,000. That cost me that hangover. 24 fucking grand. And you think to yourself, well, that was a good decision, wasn't it?
Yes. They don't know the importance of, you've got to know the importance of just getting out of that, because I was fully in that circle. Yeah. It'd become a Saturday night, and I was so hanging for probably the Friday night, and I was doing everything it was like work. I was like, got to go and spend a few and get a new Balenciaga t-shirt to hide my big gut. Bit tight on the arms, I'll be all right. I'll get away with my
Saturday night bodybuilder.
I'm quite all right. I get distributed evenly, so I always look quite thick and stocky or whatever, but... Get a big baggy t-shirt, that will cover it up. And you're forcing yourself to go out, and then it comes to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you might be back in the game. Thursday, okay, you might have a good Thursday. Guess what happens Friday? Sun's out, everyone finishes early. Boom. Solicitors aren't answering. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll go out and let's have a few drinks.
You've had a few messages. Go out.
It's hard to get out of it.
I know, just to sort of close on that subject as well, I remember I heard an interview with the guy who was in Geordie Shore with all the tattoos who went into MMA.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is. I think it's Aaron. I don't know. I'm not going to guess. But anyway, I had a really good interview with him. It was on TikTok, and he just basically said that he was out every week. He was like, the known guy in Newcastle or whatever. He was always out. He's been on the TV show and all that sort of stuff. And suddenly he just woke up and he said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm getting sick of the hangovers. I'm getting sick of how I feel. I feel like shit. and you know, I'm not doing it. I want to do this. He's pursuing his MMA. Do you know what he said? He goes, he was the guy who had the most friends in fucking the Northeast, and he goes, he could count his friends on one hand now. Because how many friends want to go for a coffee? How many friends want to just get food? They're not your friends. They're just people who want to go out and get smashed. They're just people who want to go out and get smashed, and you either go with them and do it, or
and you know what we spoke about is that you ever been out sober? It's fucking shit.
Rubbish.
People bumping into your drinks going everywhere.
Yeah.
Why they're getting their phones out, recording the champagne. What is you thinking? This is so shit.
And the conversations are awful. You know, when you're drunk, you have these like really...
Everything's funny.
Yeah, you're like, oh, like laughing and stuff.
God,
it's not funny. Oh, he's a really nice guy. And the reality is all he's done is just repeated himself 4 times to you about
He's all right, is he?
Yeah,
he knows thingy from down...
Yeah.
Come out with this random guy coming out of you on a night. It's just...
Yeah.
And it's that shit that you have to get to that fuck to make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think when I started trying to go out a bit sober, like towards the middle of this year, like I was just like, this is wank.
Yeah.
I'll tell my mates I'm going to the toilet and I duck out. I always do it. I'm going to the toilet, back in a minute.
Yeah,
drive home.
Yeah, it's true. I've had a few where I've gone to pubs recently and bars, and I've had to just say like,
oh, you're not having a drink, and they make you feel like a twat for not having it. Oh, come on, mate, it's Friday, not have a drink. Oh, you're boring now, mate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you do, and you've got to get out of it to get your frequency in check, to get you up early, to get you in the right mindset, because then you can actually start thinking about self-development and longevity. You don't think about it because your brain is in survival mode. It's not thinking about development.
It's literally, I think it's been scientifically proven, hasn't it, that like when you've got a lot of alcohol in your system, because you have like you talk about the frequency, it's to do with your kind of electronic like pulses, isn't it, that you put out.
Correct, yeah.
And of course, you know what it's like when you're firing and everything you touch turns to gold. You know, you can't miss. You know, you come in, problem, bang, bang, solved, solution.
Talking about something, it's like we'd be talking about, like, you know, new car, looking at a Ferrari or something, and it will drive past.
Yeah, your frequency.
The frequency, you're attracting it, whatever it is. You'll be talking about a deal, you'll be talking about something, you'll get a message in it. When you're not in that state... I haven't got the energy to answer my phone. When your phone starts ringing and you've had 2 hours sleep, and you're like that,
I can't do it. No, it's true.
I know Grandma's on the phone, but and I'll call her on Monday.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's crazy, and I think that, you know, look, we're human beings. We have outlets. There's nothing wrong with saying on this day you're going to do something.
And don't get me wrong, I love it more than
we
most.
Both do. We both love.
I love it.
We love it.
You know what I mean? You know how hard it was for me to come out of that situation where that's what I've done ever since I stopped playing. I didn't drink when I was trying to be a footballer. I didn't drink or party. From like the age of 16 to 21, I didn't really drink. Then from then onwards, Marbella, you know, I had a meme posted about me and my mates at that party, a pool party once. Like, I can't remember what it was, but they were just taking the piss out of us, standing there with our short shorts, tattoos,
like those 4 guys.
Yeah, like, you know, it was taking the piss out of, and all I've known is partying in the summer, going out every Saturday night, and then for me, for this year to actually go, no,
we've been in the gym like most Sunday mornings,
and that has taken a lot of effort from me, but it doesn't feel like effort now. It's like, that's my life.
And do you know what I've also found is that, like, where you make those kind of sacrifices we're talking about, it's not because we're being boring. It's because when you do go on holiday and when you do something nice, when you do go out for that night out that you want to go out on and all that sort of stuff, you really enjoy it because you can give it everything, all your energy. You might have booked a couple of days off work after.
Yeah, your Sunday Monday. I'll clear my Sunday Monday,
and then and you enjoy yourself. You're not doing it because you're chasing a high. You're doing it because you want to do it. Like, we have like our end of month meetings where I think that's usually where we choose to do it. Is, you know, it's where we've got the quarterly ones, and you know, everyone's there from the business, and it's a really good vibe. We've had a great sort of, you know, all the recognition of performance is done. Everyone's buzzing, and then we go and have a few drinks together, and it's a great.
Even like that Ascot was really good.
Well, Ascot was brilliant. We were battered that day.
I had my little Louis bag and my brand new sunglasses I bought a day before, and I walked in a Portaloo, went to the toilet, and just left them on the side. And I'd had my sunglasses a day. Like, the one time I go out and enjoy myself cost me like
one of the highlights for me that day was me and Chloe wandered into the box a couple of boxes down, and a guy knew me and waved me over for a drink. They said, come and join us for a drink. Yeah, no worries. Went in. Of course, it was full of conveyancers in there, and I'm steaming drunk, and I've got 10 conveyancers around me, and I'm telling them exactly why they are the problem with the property industry, and if they sorted themselves out, we might actually get some deals done in the UK, but you don't want to know, you're just lazy, you don't pick up the phone, you don't update, and all this. And
so did you get invited to Cheltenham by them?
They didn't invite me back, actually, no. So that's sometimes the problems that happen when you're battered.
Yeah,
but you know, and you can enjoy it, but like
you do go and let your hair down and get back to it, but to do it all the time, it's so difficult to come out of it because it's normality, and that's that. You've got such a good feel like once you're out of that zone, you know, going out all the time. It's just class, mate. I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think like just lastly then, Reece. So you know, if you were to if you were to give some advice to someone who potentially was joining the business or young real estate agents, you know, what would be the advice you'd give someone who wanted to succeed?
For me, it's got to be like, if you know, when you're growing up, you know what type of person you are. So in your friendship group, everyone's got their little role to play, haven't they? The joker, the whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you are someone that, you know, you can talk to people easily, you are good at socializing, and you want to take the ability to, take the time to self-develop and not go down the traditional route that because your parents will point you in a route which they know, and that's different now. And although you know, if you...
Times have changed.
And they're trying to help you to the best of their ability, but sometimes, you know, we spoke to someone this morning who went against completely everything his dad believed in, and now he's doing really successful. It's kind of like, step away and, you know, take a risk in...
You've got to make the decision for yourself, haven't you? And, you know, to do that, what do you think it takes to succeed?
Like you say, observe the masses and do different.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good way of putting it across, is that, you know, put yourself in a position where you're prepared to, you know, you eat shit for a year and learn and learn and learn. Detach yourself from money at the outcome. What am I going to earn from this? What am I going to earn from this? No, just concentrate on learning, because that will come.
Well, if someone said to you, like before you started, as in anyone started, if someone said, right, in your first year you're going to earn 50 grand, but in your second year you could earn 300 grand, you would take that every single day of the week. But the problem is people won't go through the first 6 months of earning nothing, the second 6 months earning the 50 grand, and the next 12 months you earn your 300 grand.
Well, you need to, I've come from an industry where it's, you do the work, you get paid. You do the work, you get paid. You turn up to work, you get paid. And you need to, honestly, the best advice I can give is take your thought away from that. That is not the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. You need to work on you and realize that you can have the potential to just earn so much money, do hours you want, do everything you want, express yourself how you want, not have to run it by a corporate manager that says, oh, you can't say this, you can't do that. You know, you're pretty outspoken.
Most estate agents have social media compliance officers.
Like, so you know that was a job position?
No, I didn't know. So apparently you want to do a social media post, you send the post to their compliance person who authorises or changes the post to align with what the business wants. I think that's ridiculous. And that means that as much as they're allowing people, inverted commas, to post on social media, they're not actually allowing people to build a personal brand.
If I was, 18 coming out of college or whatever, I would be hitting up my Instagram, hitting up your Instagram, hitting up any of the other agents' Instagram saying, I want to come and learn, even if it's for free for the first 3 months, just to understand what I'm getting involved in.
Yeah.
And when I hear people who have that mindset, when they come and join the company and they're blowing up my phone, annoy me, pester me, because I'm not going to chase you. I've got my own shit to do. You've got to pester an expert in that industry and say, just let me observe and learn off you. Let me make you coffee every morning.
Where are you going to be at this time? I'll be there.
Let me come and...
When's your next market appraisal? I'll be there.
But you know what your mates will be like? They'll be like, what are you doing, mate? That's beggy. Or why are you moving like that? You're not getting paid for that. Oh my God, I just got paid 20. I've just got a post-grad job for 22 grand a year and I'm only 19 or 20. And he's seen as the winner and you're there going... And they're trying to make you feel that you're a bum.
Yeah. But the reality is, in 2 years, you'll be earning more than what their parents earn combined. And it's like, that is just how society works. Though it's bred for mediocrity, and it's drilled into us at school. I mean, one of the things I want to do is, I want to be giving talks in colleges, in schools, even in prisons, about entrepreneurship and how you can utilize social media, build your business brand, and actually, PAYE jobs are not the only option. and entrepreneurship and business should be taught in a much more aggressive fashion in
I think
school.
it's not taught for a reason anyway.
I mean, of course it's not. They don't want millionaires being created. They want workers.
Because in school, like, you get up to 50 grand a year, you've done better than most. That was always drummed in my head. I always had that 50 grand a year in my head to be like, that was my goal.
The holy grail.
That was my goal. Like, no,
Holy
don't
grail.
go over that. So, I think that's the advice I'd give, is just to go and work for free in an industry that interests you. Everyone loves, who wouldn't love selling a £5 million house? It's fun. You're doing the property tours and you're doing viewings and you're walking around, you're showing a footballer that you might know, you've seen him on TV. Suddenly you're selling his house, suddenly he's buying your house, and you're talking on a level playing field. They understand.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen overnight. You don't just get handed the keys to a £5 million house to go and sell it when you have absolutely nothing. You've got to understand it and learn it. Like you said, you've got to shadow people, you've got to grow, you've got to develop, you've got to do all the things that a normal person wouldn't do to get to a place that a normal person wouldn't get.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's as simple as that. You make those commitments, you make those sacrifices, and you'll get results that other people haven't got. So yeah, look, I think that's a really good point to wrap up on.
Wicked.
I think I really enjoyed it, and let's see a nice 6 months ahead, 5 months ahead for the rest of 2022.
I'll have the keys to my Ferrari on the table by then.
So you've seen public accountability there, that he'll be picking up his Ferrari soon. Make sure everyone's giving him some stick for that, and I'll look forward to it as well.
Wicked.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.